Welcome to wealthychange.com. I'm so excited that you joined us today. We are talking about serious, steady savings and why it is so important. A lot of people go through life and they're not really sure about where they're going to be tomorrow, where they're going to be in 5 years, or where they're going to be in 20 years. The question is, are you going to be prepared for it regardless of what you think today? Are you going to be prepared? Are you putting enough money aside for the rainy day of tomorrow? That's the real question. And today we're going to show you how you can help accelerate these things without going too crazy. Basing it on what I do. Once again, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but I can tell you what has worked for me. Anyway, all of that said, we're going to have a look right in here. You've heard the saying, we're always wiser in hindsight. Well, is that the case for you? Oh, I should have done this, and I can see why I should have done that. And then you say, oh, if I had realized this was going to be the case, I would have changed my behavior to get a better outcome. Or you may have said, if only I had have known. Well, I'm here to tell you, you do know. You do know that you're going to miss out tomorrow or 20 years' time unless you do something different today. Like I said, this is all about serious, steady savings. Steady savings, which means ongoing, and you've made a commitment to do something about it. Now, on our website here, wealthychange.com, and we've got that little tab here called Serious, Steady Savings. This is this page here. Like I said, you've got to put money aside for tomorrow because you don't know what's going to come up. But are you prepared for tomorrow? I had someone approach me back when I was 17 or 18, and he was a good friend of mine, and he said, why don't you start saving today and putting away $50 a week or $20 a week, because you never know how things are going to look in 10 years time or 20 years time. And if you start a savings plan like that, it just grows and grows and grows based on compound interest. We're going to talk a little bit about compound interest very, very shortly. So keep your eyes peeled and you'll be blown away about these numbers. Compound interest is amazing when you actually see it working. So if I had done that and kept at it and not stopped my plan, I would have been so much better off. And I've written this little thing here. When I was 17 years old, I should have put away $50 a week over 25 years. And back then, that's the cat on the piano. Get off the piano. Back when I was 17, I should have put away $50 a week. And at 3.5% interest rate back then, I would have been so much better off. Now, back then, 3.5% interest was the going rate because home loan rates and everything on the cash flow rates were so much higher. But at 3.5%, at 25 years, I would have over $100,000 in my account. That's $38,000 in interest alone. It's crazy to think about. Now, you know how quick 25 years have gone for me? Bam, that's how quick. Snap your fingers, bam, that's how quick 25 years goes. And you might look forward and go, oh, man, that's a long time into the future. But I tell you what, when you're busy and doing this and getting married and having kids and doing this and doing that, it goes so quick. You would not believe it. Anyway, you look back, 25 years later, bam, here we are. So if I had just kept up $50 a week into a savings plan at 3.5% interest, $100,000, you're kidding me. Yep, that's what it is. I'm going to show you something right now. Compound interest. Compound interest, someone said, is the most powerful force in the universe. Albert Einstein said that, as a matter of fact. Now, do we believe him? Absolutely. It's just what it is. If you put away a penny a day and double that figure every single day, so start with 1 penny and double it every day for 30 days, you will have $5 million. It sounds crazy, but that's just what it is. A penny, 2 pennies, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, $1.28, $2.56. and then it keeps going on from there. But by day 28, you've cracked the $1 million mark. Let's just see how that works. I've gone to a site, and I'll show you this site. Where is it? Compound interest. This is just the calculator site.com, and you can do this on your calculator too, by the way. If we're in dollars, the initial balance, let's say, is $1. Let's start with $1,000 because most people can put away $1,000 to start with. And the interest rate nowadays, by the way, let's have a look at realistic interest rates. But first, let's type into the 3.5% like we first started. 3.5%. But it's calculated daily because that's how most banks work. It's calculated daily, but only paid yearly. Calculated period, 25 years. Compound interval, monthly, that's fine. Let's work out what this is. Calculate. Boom. Well, that can't be right. That's a lot of money. Let's not start that. Initial balance. Monthly. Oh, that's saying I'm putting away $1,000 a month. No, let's say we're putting away $200 a month. Initial balance. That's better. Let's recalculate that. Regular intervals. Regular monthly deposit. $200 a month, which is 4 times 50. Boom. Try this now. Oh, that can't be right. Something's gone awry. Actually, that's because I've got daily. Interest rate per day. It's interest interest rate yearly. Interest rate per annum. That's better. Let's try this. Boom. That's better. $100,000. Total interest earned $36,000. Yeah, so don't make the mistake I did. It's the initial balance of $200. You put away $200 every month or $50 a week, and that's the figure you come out with. That's based on 3.5% interest rates. So what's it telling us? You're going to earn $36,000 of interest alone. And that's pretty good. All right, let's have a look. Let's say today's interest rate. Now let's have a look at the standard bank interest rates. Okay, I'm going to go to 2 standard bank accounts. I'm not going to tell you which banks because they're basically all the same. Bank 1, flexible interest rates, payable. You could earn 0.8%. Wow, big deal. Or another bank, this is it here, 0.9% introductory rate or 0.85% fixed bonus for the first 5 months. That's not huge. That's not huge, but that's the interest rates of today. So let's go and just have a look at this program again. Chop this back down to 0.8%, as we mentioned before. Even so, this is what it is. So let's have a look. Starting with $200 balance, and we're going to put in $50 a week. Let's have a look at this. You're going to earn $6,500 interest rates. And that's 0.8%. But even so, you've done nothing for it except put it in the bank. At least you're earning money, right? That's at least a start, right? So the total investment in 25 years will be $66,000. You've put in $60,000. They've paid you $6,400. That's quite interesting, isn't it? What about if you could make more money? Just remember this here. Compound interest. If you double it, this is what it would be. Now, we're not talking compound 100%. We're talking 0.8 or 0.35, or 3.5, I should say. What happens if you get a lot more than that? Remember our website before, where we said serious steady savings as a base rate, it would mean so much more in the future. So what if you could get so much more interest per annum, calculated daily, and paid monthly or something like that? What happens if you could get, let's say, 10%? What happens if you can get 20%? What happens if you could get 50% or 100% on your savings plan? That's pretty interesting. We'll keep that aside. What happens if you go to the shops and you have to buy groceries, and you pay out, I don't know, $100 a week, or $200 a week on groceries. But every time you do so, you get a savings bonus, or you're actually saving money every time that happens. That's the system I am currently using now. There's a few systems I use, but this one in particular I have been in for a little while, and I'm earning interest by spending money. That seems a bit crazy, but every time I go to the shops and let's say spend $200, it rounds it up. Or what happens if I buy something for $3.58? It'll round it up to the next dollar. So what happens to that 0.58? What happens to that $0.42? The 42 cents, it rounds it up and puts it in my bank account. That's a very interesting way of seeing things. It's my own savings plan. I didn't really miss the money because it's only 42 cents. Or if I have a whole dollar, it's a dollar every time, and then that goes into a different savings plan. Have you heard about that? That's very interesting. I use this system, and I'll show you what it does. It's called the Acorns system, or here in Australia, it's called Raise. And in fact, if you go to wealthychange.com/savings, it's a very interesting program where you go to the shops, you spend money, and it rounds each dollar up to the nearest dollar, and it puts it aside. It's recurring, you can do lump sums, and it pays out over time. They're called roundups, and let me show you how this works. Alright, I've got a smart portfolio here that every time I put money in, it rounds it up to the nearest dollar, and it holds it in my bank account, and then it pays it into this account, my Raise account, every time I spend money. Every time I get to $5 or $10, it transfers that money into Raise. Now, I honestly do not miss $5 at a time, or rounded up $10 at a time, and it's not coming from thin air. It's just my money. I'm rounding it up and putting it into this special account, and then this special account holds it, and then it puts it out to the market, and it gets a better interest rate for me. So at the top here you see there's conservative interest, there's moderate conservative, moderate, or moderate aggressive, or aggressive. So every time I put money in, see these figures down here, this is the amount of years. We're going to go and dragging this across to 10 years. So at 10 years, a monthly investment of $30 will give me $5,000. That's plus $1,533 in interest over 10 years that it is giving me back. Okay, now that's on an aggressive system. Now, isn't that a good thing that you're getting better than the standard bank rates of 0.8, or in this case 0.85 or 0.9%? Isn't that a better system? I'm very happy with it because I'm getting essentially free money just by putting a little bit of money aside into a separate bank account, and this does it all for me. Admittedly, this is not my only investment account. I got different investment accounts, different bank accounts, where you'll see in a second or a moment what I also do with my savings. So instead of just leaving it in the bank and getting 0.8%, I'm getting 2, 3, 4% in this account based on the current market rates. Okay, and it's using the aggressive point here. That's one system. I've put a link below and I want you to go check it out. If you're in Australia, click the Raise account. If you're elsewhere in the world, click the Acorns one. Okay, we're going to have those links down in the link below. That's one system that I have kept going, and I'm very happy because I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket. I'm spreading my investments over many things, but this one takes care of it for me. Okay, so what happens if I can get higher interest? What happens if I get 10%, 50%, or 100% on some of my investments? And that's where this comes into it. It's actually cryptocurrency, and you might think, well, that's high risk, etc. But have a look at this. This is the interest returned in a day. Now things go up and things go down, and some of these accelerate at high speeds. And if you watch what you're doing, you can put it in and take it back out and swap it back out just to your local currency. And then when things start to accelerate again, you put it back in. All of these make so much more sense than just a standard 0.8%. Have a look at some of these. Now, Bitcoin at the moment is at 0.3 for the day, but over the last 6 months, Bitcoin has returned 78% return. Do you understand that? That's huge. That is huge. Ethereum, which is another cryptocurrency, it's returned 181% return over 6 months. It seems like that we're on the cusp of moving forward because of the US dollar and the world economy and this happening and that happening, where everything's going to change. If that's the case, people are turning to gold, silver, and Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies as more of a stable platform. So if that means that projects move forward and accelerate at high rates, what would that do for you? Admittedly, it is high risk. No ifs, buts, or maybes about that. It is high risk. But if you watch what happens, you can protect yourself. And there's courses about that, and I've included another course down below in the description. wealthychange.com/crypto, CRYPTO, wealthychange.com/crypto. You'll see what I'm talking about. I'll put a link down in the description below and you'll see that very thing. Alright, so let's have a look at some of these others. VeChain. I've actually bought a lot of VeChain. Now the price of VeChain, by the way, is 0.014, so that's 1.4 pennies per VeChain cryptocurrency. Over the last 6 months, it has risen 383%. Wow, that's huge. That is huge. So if I have invested, let's say, $100, right, and it's risen 383%, all of a sudden, I've got well over my 100% investment. That's crazy. That's massive. That's huge. This one here, Lend. Now, I'm not in this one, but that's risen 2,671% over the last 6 months. Like I said, some of these are huge. So I've got a course. Now, I didn't write this course. I'm simply referring you to it. Have a look at it. It explains how to do cryptocurrency trading. It's a brilliant course. It will show you step by step of what to do. Now, wouldn't you rather earn 383% or 2,666% on your money, even if it's a pure $1,000? Put $1,000 in, and what's that going to do for your portfolio at 2,668% return? That's huge. That is huge. That's only over 6 months. See this thing here? 6 months return. Something's not right here. Why aren't the banks sharing this information? Why aren't they sharing in this wealth with amongst other people? I urge you, go have a look at the cryptocurrency trading platform that we've got in the link below, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Alright, so we've seen how compound interest works. First up, get a savings plan together and start putting $50 away a week. You don't know what's happening around the corner for that rainy day indeed. Personally, I've used a Raise account or an Acorns account for other countries, and it is returning so much more than 0.8%. And yes, it's got a little bit of risk element there. However, I am killing it. They are giving me returns that I don't do anything for except leave it in this account. Fantastic. Alright, what happens if we go to 18 years? That's $6,000 in 18 years of free money to me for leaving it in this account, and I don't even miss it because it's taking it out of one account on my spend and it's putting it into this other account. Have a look at how this works. Go into your phone and type this in. I urge you, have a look at the link in our description and you'll get a bonus payment of interest on that just for signing up through our link. Yes, I'll get compensated too, but does that really hurt? No, it just gives you a little bit more money. Try that. Alright, the other thing I want you to have a look at is cryptocurrency trading. You don't have to be smart for this. You just have to follow a system that already works. Click on the link below or go to wealthychange.com/crypto and have a look at that system for yourself. It's a small investment to have a look at, and I'm talking a really small investment, and you'll see what it can do for you. All of that aside, I am very excited about serious, steady savings and how you can make a difference in your future, whether it's 1 year, 5 years, or 10 years. If you don't start today, you're not going to get the returns for tomorrow. So make sure you click on this link, have a look through, look at the description that we've got below, and see how it can benefit you. Now, it might not be for you, but I still urge you, start saving today for tomorrow. And certainly don't put all the eggs in one basket, and that's why I have done what I'm doing. Money in the bank, money on my Raise account. I've got money in my superannuation or Form 401 account, or whatever it is you call it in the United States. But either way, you're putting money aside for your retirement. That plus some cryptocurrency investments, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Do yourself a favor and check these things out. At least explore them for yourself. And why not give it a go? That's my rant for today, all about serious, steady savings. See what it can do for you and how you can move forward in your wealthy change. Because if you don't do something for yourself, no one else will. Alright, thanks very much for joining us. I'm David Cummings, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks very much.